Hi guys, my name is Miller and welcome back to the season video. It's the series of videos where I go over what can be expected for the coming 2 weeks that we like to call a season. Today I will be covering it all for season number 95. I will show you guys the season prize / milestone car, the prestige car you can pull from tomorrow on. Spoiler, it's one that can be very useful for Tempest 3 and potentially an event like we had last year that many might have already forgotten that it happened. I will also correct 2 things that I said wrongly in my last night's video on the update and show you guys the maxed out tunes of all the new cars. So let's see. Like usual, the first thing we do then is the claiming of the car. The Bentley Continental GT convertible, a car which might to many become a dust collector, but this is mainly due to its rather poor performance, but also because of its slightly clumsy pattern we have all encountered already on a daily battle. On the other hand, I think it will be one of the classiest dust collectors in tier 5, and it is a nice addition to the Bentley family. But don't forget about it though, as in the future it might as well become a prestige car. Just like the other Bentleys we have in game, it will be available in loads of colors with many different rims presets. I have to say though that in some of these colors the car comes better to its right, resembling more like a speedboat on wheels, and that is why I think I like this car so much compared to the previous generation. For now it is a dust collector for me, but it will without a doubt be a garage king on the long run. On to the season car for season 95, a car that many will dislike, which I think is kinda funny. The Nissan Juke R2.0. Yes, a Juke, who would have thought of that, and I love it. When you see this car you think, what the hell is this? A bigger joke than the Bentayga? No, nothing is bigger than the Bentayga. Juking aside, the reason why I love this car is because it does exactly what it is made for. It is heavily underestimated. The original Juke R was no joke either. Powered by the same running gear and performance stats of a 2013 GTR, the 23 models that were made put down each 545 brake horsepower. By the way, did you know that in Japanese 2 is Ni and 3 is San? And that way 2 and 3 next to each other is Nissan, and that's why you see it come back so often in the history of the brand. Anyways, the Juke R2.0 is a serious upgrade, running the 3.8 liter turbocharged V6, putting out 600 brake horsepower. Can you imagine that? This car might look like trash, but it is something that would blow everyone's socks off when driving it or even standing next to it. And this is why I like this car so much. The season price car comes in blue, which is actually not even an official color, because the only pictures of this car you can find online are all in black, like the milestone color. Performance wise in game then, it is not the fastest GTR. It runs at 10.6, making it the second fastest behind the N-Attack package if we don't count in the tier 5 R34. If you want to know more on this car, be sure to check out my max season video later on this season, where I will go more in depth on it and give some small fun facts. And give a small word on the Juke R2.1, which produces 700 brake horsepower. The prestige car, the BMW M5 competition, the milestone prize of season 75 and one of the best cars to compete with in the 3rd installment of the Tempest series, and it might as well be the key for you to get your hands on the sweet F50. The M5 competition is a great car. With just 3 stage 6 parts it can pass the speed trap and the sprint race challenges, and because it is a BMW, fusion parts are easier to get. So this is, aside of the N-Attack package, one of the best options in tier 4. For more information I would like to suggest for you to check out Max the Gamer on YouTube, link down below. He has a full video dedicated to this car and the Tempest series. As a car it is also rather impressive. The 4.4 liter V8 produces 617 brake horsepower. Combine that with an all-wheel drive and you get a 0 to 60 of only 3.1 seconds. And this car will hook almost on any road surface. For more information and facts on this car, I will save those for the season max video. But what I can tell for now is that when looking for drag races of this car online, its performance in game seems to be about right. I have seen it being compared to the Nissan GTR, Honda NSX and the Aston Martin Vantage, and the GTR seems always to have the edge on the quarter mile, but on the long run the M5 is dominant, also ahead of the NSX. To me that seems about right, as the record for the Bimmer is on a 10.507, which is 0.3 ahead of the NSX, so all comes in its place. A car that I see often put up against this car though is the Mercedes E63S, so I wonder how that would work if it were to be added to the game. Anyways, the M5 competition will be available on a 10 times drop rate starting tomorrow. Good luck with it. So after those, it comes down to the events and the news for this season, and the update of yesterday dropped like a bombshell, and there are some things that I have said in there that have to be rectified. But first, the events. Today started, I think, my favorite Duality Cup to this date with the Ferrari 488 Pista and the McLaren 600 LT. Two super sweet and pretty fast cars, and they come with a 20 time drop rate on the gold grades, running a 7 loyalty. I do not need another one, but as newer players, this is kind of a dope event. Difficulty wise, I don't know how hard it is yet, but I know my Purple Star Pista is ready. I know I need to stop flexing on y'all. The other event we can expect this season is a flash event starting next week Friday for the Hennessy Venom F5. The long promised car to run 300 miles per hour, but never had the chance to make up to that statement. So far, the max out time we see being leaked here and there for this car seem to be promising, hitting a 6.97. So it could potentially drop behind the Jesko as the 4th fastest car in game. And as it is not a new manufacturer, you probably already have a couple of parts laying around, so I expect the difficulty to be at the same level of the Jesko, with 1 or 2 stage 6 parts fully fused, perhaps 3 as well, which is still very doable for a flash event. I'm honestly looking forward to the flash event, mostly because it is such a special car and I have plenty of Hennessy parts ready. A third event I am honestly not sure if I should expect it, but I do want to happen, is one that you guys probably even forgot about that it existed, or that Natural Motion even thought about it. A Valentine's Cup. Yes, next week Friday is also Valentine's, and last year they had like a very weird last minute like event, where you could run your AMG GT for 5 races. I mean, I'm not expecting much, but I do want to have an event where like the requirement is to run a pink car or something. Nothing can be found in the notes, so I'm not keeping my hopes up, but I'd gladly take it if it does come around. Now back to the update. First, I'll give some extra words on some of the mistakes I said yesterday, of which 2 were major ones, and then I'll be showing you guys the current dyno times of the max performance, which are going around in the community, also some of them posted by Asho again. The first fix is an apology to the Varys Type R. I said I didn't get it why this car would just be a kit upgrade and jump into a different tier, but once you pop up the hood, you see where they really invested in. An HKS turbo kit, and combine that extra power with the weight reduction through the carbon parts, you get a high-end tier 3 contender. The other fix I'd like to mention too is concerning the SCG 004CS. I said I didn't get it how a street version would be an Evo Cup prize, as the 004C is a really specced track beast. Well, the 004C is a car developed specifically for a race series with limitations. The 004CS is a street legal race car which didn't have any of those, allowing it to be potentially powered by an allegedly 900 horsepower tuned and modified V6 that you can find in an R35. Aside of that, also the name, this update isn't called 2.10, but it's a 2.9.3, suggesting it should be counted as a small update. So could we expect another one this month? Now that would be a shocker. The final thing I'll go over is the maxed out times for the cars in this update, and they're kind of all over the place. Some of my expectations were met, some were exceeded, and others came short. I will follow up with the same order of my last night update video, but I'll leave out the Purple Star season price cars, because for you guys, the majority of my viewers, those are not really relevant. And first we have the Mini John Cooper Works GP, which is by the way the 2020 model. This one is right where I expected it to be, an 8.6, but I don't know yet how it runs. I really hope it can get close to the Alpine and the Boxster running sub dyno. Then we have in tier 3 the fight between the Stinger GT and the Varys Type R. First I'll mention the slightly slower one, the Kia with a dyno hitting an 8.6 to 8.7, a bit underwhelming as I expected it to be an 8.2 to 8.3 car. Then the other one exceeded beyond my expectations. The Varys Type R might become the fastest tier 3 car, as the current dyno shows a 7.851, only 10 thousandths down on the Z4 M40i, which is the current tier 3 king. On to the milestones then. The two tier 4 cars are rather close to each other, with the slower one being the Aimgain GT NSX, running a 10.57-inch dyno, but if it's like the Liberty Walk, it could as well be a 10.4 car. And then the other one being the Infiniti Q60 Project Black S, rocking a low 10.4 dyno, but again, dyno times could always be faster or slower than actual run times. Then we jump to tier 5, with the Huracan Evo Spider disappointing me a little bit. A time of an 8.224 comes out, which is slower than the 1 year older Performante Spider. I was hoping it to be rather like a 7.8 to 7.9-ish to be honest. And then the Monza, which is a pretty dope car, is expected to run a 7.975, which is also slightly below my expectations if I'm being honest. Still a great car nonetheless. For the event cars then, which are 5 ranked slowest to fastest, the one in 5th place is the BMW M8 Competition with an expected 8.04, which to me sounds like a legitimate time for this car. Not the fastest Evo Cup reward ever, but making the 7.5 would not make any sense. Following that we have a Scuderia Cameron Glickenhaus with a 7.225. Hope though that this pattern isn't as messed up as the 004C, but it could potentially run faster. Then we have the Ford Mustang Cobra Jet, which can run, can you guess it? A 7.115. Excuse me, what? Yes, you heard me, a 7.1 car from crates as a gold star. Count me in though. This one is then followed up by the Copo Camaro 50th Anniversary Edition, putting the bar even higher with a 7.093 with only 3 gears. Easy shifting, so I'm cool with it. Then the final one is a Hennessy Venom F5 concept, dipping under the 7 seconds mark, finishing off the list with a 6.972 run, so that promises a lot as well. And with that I will close off for today's video. I think I have it all covered then. If you enjoyed the video, do not hesitate to leave a like and to share this information with your friends and crewmates. Subscribe for more content like this as we're creeping up to the 30k subs. My name is Mille, see you around and keep racing.